Shielding Your Soul, a Stoic guide to identifying and evading malevolent influence. The world, as we often idealize it, is not solely populated by individuals of goodwill and benevolent intentions. Sadly, malevolence, in its myriad forms, exists and permeates our daily lives, often manifesting in subtle and insidious ways. These individuals, often lacking in empathy and driven by self-serving motives, can drain your energy, manipulate your emotions, and leave chaos in their wake. But how do we recognize these individuals, these evil people, before they inflict irreparable harm? This essay draws upon the timeless wisdom of ancient Stoic philosophers, like Marcus Aurelius and Seneca, to provide a comprehensive guide to identifying 10 telltale signs that you're dealing with someone whose true nature is far from benign. Armed with this knowledge, you can empower yourself to safeguard your well-being, protect your inner peace, and navigate the complexities of human interaction with clarity and confidence. It's not about becoming paranoid or suspicious, but about developing a discerning eye, a keen sense of intuition, and the courage to distance yourself from those who seek to diminish your light. The first step in protecting yourself from malevolent influence is understanding that these individuals rarely present themselves in overtly menacing ways. They don't show up with horns or tails, as the video content aptly states. Instead, their true nature is revealed through their actions, their patterns of behavior, and their consistent disregard for the well-being of others. They manipulate, they destroy, and they exploit your kindness for their gain. These skills can translate to great success in the business world. Knowing how to turn the tables and be a great negotiator is great skill. The main problem comes from the lack of ethics. 1. Constant manipulation, the art of distortion. One of the most evident signs that you're dealing with someone of ill intent is their propensity for constant manipulation. As Seneca wisely observed, he who has many fears also has many things to manipulate. These individuals don't thrive on integrity. They flourish by distorting reality, turning lies into their most effective weapon. This behavior is toxic because it does nothing but shift the blame to other people. Manipulation can take many forms, from subtle guilt-tripping to blatant lies and deceit. The manipulator's goal is always the same: to gain control over your thoughts, emotions, and actions, bending you to their will. This will almost surely lead to a very unhealthy relationship. They excel at playing on your insecurities, exploiting your vulnerabilities, and twisting your perceptions of reality. The initial praise and flattery are just a means to an end, a way to disarm you and make you more susceptible to their influence. It is essential to value your own independence and thoughts so that outside forces cannot harm you. As the video content illustrates, manipulators don't build relationships on trust and honesty. They exploit your vulnerabilities to gain control. They deftly prey on your uncertainties, convincing you that only they understand you and that only they can guide you. If you feel like you're constantly being manipulated, then that is a major red flag. It is not always about what happens to you, but about how you choose to respond. Stoic philosophy teaches us that the key to combating manipulation is clarity and self-control. A truly virtuous person will always lead you toward independence and autonomy, not entangle you in dependency. Refusing to participate in their manipulation game reclaims control over your thoughts, actions, and decisions. The ability to be self-sufficient is key and should be prioritized. To act, ask yourself if this aligns with your values. Do not let it affect your thought process. Make your own way in decisions that you deem best for yourself. 2. A mask of charm, the deceptive allure. Another common tactic employed by malevolent individuals is the use of a mask of charm. They present themselves as charismatic, affable, and endlessly pleasing, captivating those around them with their seemingly genuine warmth and attention. However, appearances can be deceiving, and as Epictetus warned, appearances, no matter how dazzling, often hide the truth beneath. Having the ability to manipulate by acting is a skill that should not be underestimated. It can be deployed by many different kinds of people and be used against you. Charm, in and of itself, is not inherently negative. When used sincerely, it can be a powerful tool for building rapport, fostering trust, and creating meaningful connections. However, in the hands of someone with malicious intent, charm becomes a weapon, a means of disarming you and lowering your defenses. This can be the most subtle trick that people can play and be difficult to recognize. They know how to capture your heart, disarm you with their carefully crafted words, and present themselves as the friend you've always sought, the perfect partner, or even a trusted mentor. Yet behind the facade of charm lies a motive far from genuine, a self-serving agenda that seeks to exploit your trust and manipulate your emotions. Being cautious is never a bad idea. It is best to be aware and in tune to potential dangers. When there is no one is around and you do not have the mask to hide what is really going on, it can be much easier to see a person's true colors. When no one is watching, it allows for better interpretation and being able to be one step ahead of the curve. Stoic philosophy teaches us that the truth doesn't need a mask. Genuine kindness shines on its own without pretense. To handle such situations and see past the glimmer requires wisdom and time to process. 3. Lies without conscience, the erosion of truth. In the moral landscape, truth serves as a foundational pillar, providing stability and clarity to our understanding of the world. Yet, for truly malicious individuals, truth is merely an obstacle, a hindrance to their self-serving agendas. These people, without a second thought, will put their own needs before the needs of everyone else, and they will not care the consequences. These manipulators are very scary because they have no emotions and can lie and harm others with ease. Having self-esteem will lead to more trust in your own abilities. In turn, will help you see through their actions. But what makes an evil person bad? Lying, deceitful behavior, and no empathy for others. So many components that will make you steer clear of someone. But if you do not recognize the signs, then you could potentially be in trouble. Lies have the ability to destroy or negatively impact someone, and this can be a warning sign. This should be looked into, and the proper steps should be taken to get yourself out of the dangerous relationship. Do not look back and be strong. Make sure you continue your positive habits and have the knowledge and skill to get out of the relationship. Stoic philosophy teaches us to focus on actions as they reveal a person's true character. When you spot discrepancies between someone's words and actions, trust your observations over their claims, ask questions, demand transparency, and most importantly, set boundaries. The main problem that should be addressed is that the blame will be put on others when they are in the wrong, and they can easily manipulate to turn the situation around on you. It is important to have good and healthy relationships that will bring you up rather than down. For lack of empathy, the void within. The human capacity for empathy, the ability to understand and share the feelings of others, is what binds us together, fostering connection, compassion, and mutual support. However, one of the most chilling traits of a truly malicious individual is their profound lack of empathy, their inability to genuinely connect with the joys and sorrows of those around them. It is one of the biggest reasons why a person may decide to remove themselves from the relationship. Seneca so wisely reminds us, humans are social creatures not meant to live solely for themselves. Empathy is the bridge that connects us, allowing us to share in the joys and sorrows of others. Yet for the truly malicious, other people are nothing more than pawns in their self-serving games. They do not genuinely care about your happiness or pain unless it aligns with their personal agenda. The lack of empathy is not just a flaw in character, it's a glaring window into a hollow soul. It is why being alone is important as well. There needs to be a balance so that you're not taken advantage of. Empathy helps you connect with people. Without connection, you may become a hollow person without people. It is imperative that you learn how to set strong and sound boundaries. Protect your peace and do not allow their coldness to diminish your worth. 5. The hunger for control, imprisoning the mind. The hunger for control is not just a personality quirk. It's a defining characteristic of a malicious individual. For them, control isn't just a habit. It's their lifeline, their means of maintaining a sense of power and dominance over their surroundings. From relationships and finances to thoughts and decisions. They seek to exert their influence, shaping the world to their liking and bending others to their will. It is not a trait that is easy to be around, and you can easily get burned. There's a desire to dominate everything around. They will try to manipulate you and change you. You are never a robot, and those attempts should be thwarted as often as possible. Those should be recognized immediately, and the person should be separated. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Your mind is under your control, not external circumstances." When you realize this, you discover your true strength. However, this strength, this ability to control your thoughts and emotions, is precisely what malicious individuals seek to strip from you. They know that controlling your mind is the key to ruling your entire life, and they will stop at nothing to achieve that goal. 6. Blame games and deflection, evading responsibility. Accountability, the willingness to take responsibility for one's actions and to own up to one's mistakes, is a hallmark of a mature and virtuous individual. Yet, for those with malicious intent, accountability is a concept to be avoided at all costs. Instead of facing the consequences of their actions, they engage in a constant cycle of blame games and deflection, shifting responsibility onto others and casting themselves as the innocent victim in every situation. People who shift blame are not worth being around. Shifting the responsibility isn't genuine, but it can be used as a power play. It may work for a short time, but most people can sense and understand that there are actions that must be taken. Deflecting responsibilities and blame game is key to those who try to evade. It is an automatic and easy thing for them to do. It should be a red flag and should have you proceed with caution. Stoic philosophy reminds us that the truth stands on its own. Honesty, integrity, and accountability are hallmarks of a strong character. Accountability is also key to becoming better and knowing your shortcomings. 7. The pleasure of pain, deriving joy from suffering. One of the most chilling and disturbing traits of a truly malicious individual is the satisfaction they derive from the suffering of others. While most people are naturally repulsed by pain and hardship, these individuals find a perverse pleasure in witnessing the misfortunes of those around them, often reveling in their failures and finding amusement in their struggles. It is never a good look to enjoy others being sad or hurt. It is important to recognize the signs of this in order to protect yourself and know that there is something potentially evil about that person. That is the single most disturbing character trait a person can have. The ability to have empathy is essential for any human being. As Epictetus wisely advised, associate with those who make you better. People with this trait are in no way worth keeping around. If you begin to see these habits, you should not hesitate to cut ties. If you see people sabotaging, gossiping, and intentionally harming, it should be obvious that they do not want to see anyone else succeed. Their joy doesn't come from achieving anything meaningful, but from watching others stumble. The best course of action is to cut all ties and know that in the end the person is going to be all alone and empty. Do not let them have the attention and give them the gift of loneliness. 8. Isolation as a weapon, severing connections. Humans are inherently social creatures, thriving on connection, support, and belonging. We are wired to seek out relationships, to build communities, and to share our lives with others. This natural inclination towards connection is precisely what malicious individuals seek to disrupt, using isolation as a powerful weapon to control and manipulate their victims. Humans were not designed to be alone, and that is one of the things that they seek to target to cause harm. You should proceed with extra caution and pay close attention when new people come into your life, as that is a crucial stage to see if there are good intentions. You must protect your connection and let them see that the community around you provides for you. Do not let them know that you feel alone or are isolated, because they will weaponize this and may create a new dependence relationship with the aggressor. Isolation makes it tough for you to realize you are actually in an abusive relationship. Abuse can take many forms, and if you are isolated, it can get much worse. Marcus Aurelius said it best: "The quality of our thoughts helps determine how great our lives can be." Do not let anyone diminish the thoughts that are in your head. Trust that you're doing the best that you can, and if these people make you feel the opposite, there are other people that you can seek. You are part of a community, and people support you. There are things that are already set up that can provide strength when things in life get a little bit unstable. You should lean on those when you are in times of trouble and look to move forward. To solve this, do not let people convince you otherwise and reach out. You're never alone and do not need to be in an isolated space. 9. Jealousy in disguise, undermining confidence. Envy, the corrosive emotion that festers within the soul, becomes particularly insidious when it's disguised as concern or goodwill. Malicious individuals, consumed by jealousy, often attempt to undermine the happiness and success of others, cloaking their negativity in seemingly helpful advice or compliments that are laced with subtle barbs and undermining remarks. Jealousy is bad enough, but disguised is worse. The people you surround yourself with are very important to maintain a good mindset. Make sure that you take extra care of the friends that you have. Envy often stems from insecurity or a lack of self-worth. You did great, but next time you should try and reach for higher goals and push yourself further. Do not let this dim what you have done. Do not let the negative impact who you are. Take it with a grain of salt and keep moving forward. Envious people cannot celebrate your light. They do not want you to thrive. There's a great quote, "Misery loves company." They want you to stay with them so they feel better about the decisions that they have made. When others try to compare, do not let it distract you or let you become insecure. You are in control, and you need to make sure that you can handle what comes with the punches. Trust your gut and use your intuitions. The first response to something is often the most truthful. 10. The unrepentant heart, a refusal to grow. One of the clearest and most definitive signs of an evil person is an unrepentant heart, a complete and utter refusal to acknowledge their mistakes, take responsibility for their actions, or express remorse for the harm they've caused. You can lead a horse to water, but you cannot make them drink. While Stoic philosophy emphasizes the importance of self-reflection, personal growth, and the willingness to admit fault, those with unrepentant hearts cling to their destructive habits, justifying their behavior with elaborate excuses and deflecting blame onto others. These people tend to hurt those closest to them. It is an opportunity to grow. They often justify, and that can be harmful. If they refuse to acknowledge their mistakes, it is time to run away and seek new opportunities to be better. Protect yourself from those who always have an excuse. You cannot force anyone to change, and you must do what is in your best interests. Be better to yourself and love you, as others are not going to. Those people are showing their true colors, and you need to look for a positive outcome. The recognition of evil, in its subtle and overt forms, is not an exercise in paranoia or suspicion. It's an act of self-preservation, a necessary step in safeguarding your emotional and mental well-being. By arming yourself with the wisdom of Stoic philosophy and learning to identify the 10 telltale signs outlined in this essay, constant manipulation, a mask of charm, lies without conscience, lack of empathy, the hunger for control, blame games and deflection, the pleasure of pain, isolation as a weapon, jealousy in disguise, and the unrepentant heart. You can empower yourself to navigate the complexities of human interaction with clarity, confidence, and unwavering resolve. This helps put you in control of who is in your life. The true strength lies in mastering your mind and your reactions. Do not let toxic individuals disrupt your peace. Stay focused on what you have done and what you want to achieve. Key takeaways. Recognize constant manipulation. Be wary of individuals who consistently attempt to control your thoughts, emotions, and actions through subtle or overt means. Beware the mask of charm. Don't be swayed by superficial charm and flattery. Look for genuine kindness and authenticity. Identify lies without conscience. Pay attention to inconsistencies between words and actions, and trust your intuition when something feels amiss. Detect lack of empathy. Recognize the inability or unwillingness to connect with your feelings and experiences, and protect yourself from emotional exploitation. Resist the hunger for control. Guard your autonomy and independence. refusing to cede control over your decisions and your life. Avoid blame games. Don't fall prey to blame shifting and deflection tactics. Demand accountability and refuse to take responsibility for others' actions. Recognize the pleasure of pain. Distance yourself from those who derive satisfaction from the suffering of others, seeking out relationships that foster growth and support. Protect against isolation. Guard your connections with loved ones and resist attempts to isolate you from your support system. Unmask jealousy in disguise. Be wary of advice or compliments that are laced with undermining remarks, and surround yourself with those who genuinely celebrate your success. Identify the unrepentant heart. Distance yourself from those who refuse to acknowledge their mistakes, take responsibility for their actions, or express remorse for the harm they've caused. To summarize, following the tips in the essay can help you build not only the best version of yourself, but help you find the best connections that you can make. Good luck on your journey.